Hello, this is Mayor Baraka, Mayor of the City of Newark, and we have just opened up the Shani Baraka Women's Resource Center. It is an incredibly important place for not just women, but women and children in our city who'll be able to go and get a multitude of different services, ranging from domestic violence, abuse and treatment, to job training, to opportunities for them to get counseling. It is a holistic center directed specifically at women and children, the most vulnerable sector of our community, to make sure we wrap around services that protect, educate, inform, and make sure that they have healthy and safe lives in the city of Newark. We named it after Shani Baraka, who was my younger sister, who was a victim of domestic violence herself. We believe that this center is important to name after her, not only because she was a victim of domestic violence, but because she was a pillar of this community. She was a basketball coach, an educator in the city of Newark. She grew up in this community. She had thousands and thousands of young kids. She's affected their lives, led them on to college, and some even to the WNBA. If you went up into Velsburg and said her name, the kids up there would know her. If you went to Malcolm X Shabazz High School and said her name, the kids would know her. If you went to University High and said her name, the kids would know her. Shani was a well-loved Newark resident and, like I said, a pillar of this community. It is a pleasure and my honor to name this building after Shani Baraka, not just because she's my sister, but because she exemplifies the kind of women that we need to uphold in this great city of Newark.
I never thought that I would be someone who was in a domestic violence relationship. I don't think that anyone thinks that they'll be that person or they'll be that woman until you're in that situation, and it's not as easy to leave as people make it seem.
To know that I was in a domestic abuse situation, when you go back in retrospect, it really takes away from everything good that happened at that time in your life.
Eventually, I found my way to drugs and alcohol, but by that time, I was mentally conditioned to accept it and mentally conditioned to pretend that nothing was wrong.
The issues he had, a lot of people suffer from the same issues and they don't know how to cope with them. So what they'll do is they'll find the nearest receptacle to put their garbage in, and I became his receptacle.
Once I became the person who was in a domestic violence relationship, I kind of saw how hard it was to get out, because it's like it was a mental fog, you know? It was like, I could not believe that I was in that situation, so I kept making excuses, for him and for myself as to why it wasn't a domestic violence situation. I was like isolating every situation, but it just would happen time after time after time. And every time I thought it was the last time until it happened again. And it would be sporadic. It wouldn't be every day. Sometimes it would be every other week, every other month, maybe 2 or 3 months would pass by, and then I would feel like it would be done. And then something else would happen, and it would happen again. So it wasn't until I realized that it was never gonna stop. I was gonna live like this for the rest of my life, or I wasn't gonna live at all.
I eventually stopped asking for help, and I eventually stopped talking about it, and I never even thought to ask for help from someone outside of the family.
It's looked upon as being bad because it is bad. It messes with you mentally years later.
I think back and I think about what I could have used during that time, and I'm really focused on my own healing, and I realized that blaming other people, even blaming him, there were certain family members who knew, there were certain friends who knew, and for a long time I blamed them. Like, why didn't you stop me? Why didn't you? Like, why didn't you do what you could have done to take me out of the situation? But I feel like people don't really know how to handle it, so they don't know how to handle it, so they ignore it.
It's very uncomfortable when you try to talk about it with someone, and if we just had somewhere to go.
I could have used someone sitting down next to me, and even if I didn't say anything, even if I couldn't articulate what was happening because I was too young to really put words to it, to say, Jenny, how are you doing?
We need people to stop being silent. We need people to be able to have a safe space where they can tell their story. And, we need help.
The Shani Baraka Women's Resource Center is a place where women can come who have been abused, who are in crisis, who are in transition, and a place that will help them get their lives back together. The Newark Workforce Development Board is a partner of the Shani Baraka Women's Resource Center. We will be providing employment and training programs, resources, information for women in transition, and who will come to the center looking for protection, support, healing, and an opportunity to really get on the path for self-sufficiency and holistic health and healing. We are able to assist the women in really finding their way educationally as well as a career path. Because the center is a safe haven and a safe environment, women will feel comfortable allowing themselves to be exposed and to provide information that they normally wouldn't, that would allow the counselors and all of the partners that are there to assist, help them move their lives forward and provide a better quality of life for themselves and their children.
As a social service advocate agency, our mission at Raise the Flags is to promote and collaborate on HIV/AIDS awareness. Our goal is to give HIV testing, resources, group sessions, information to the women and to the teens in the community.
My name is Dominic Prophet. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Winona's House. Winona's House is a 501c3 nonprofit organization named after the late Senator Winona Lippman. Our mission is basically to promote healing and justice for those who have been victimized by some form of abuse and neglect. We're also looking to make sure that our community understands the dynamics of abuse. They understand the effects of long-term abuse, not only on the children, but on the families. And we also want to make sure that we're part of the solution for our community. And that's really why we're here.
I'm Dr. Monique Swift. I am an executive board member of the New Jersey chapter of the Association of Black Psychologists. The association is a nonprofit organization that's comprised of a vast array of multifaceted, multi-talented psychologists, all of whom are organized around a common passion and commitment to heal and empower those in our communities.
Save of Essex County, a program of Family Service League, is dedicated to supporting and empowering all survivors of sexual violence through comprehensive services. We provide a 24-hour emergency hotline, accompany survivors through all medical and legal proceedings, as well as prevention, education, and counseling services, which will be made available at the center.
Being part of the Shani Baraka Women's Resource Center allows me the privilege to provide trauma-informed, holistic supportive services to victim survivors of violence and abuse, while simultaneously assisting the Special Victims Division of the Newark Police Department for those seeking additional protections. Now, my role as part of the multidisciplinary domestic violence response team is to raise community awareness, but to also equip victim survivors with safety plans and adequate tools that are often necessary to navigate a very challenging judicial system while ensuring that they are properly linked to effective, coordinated community resources and services.
The heart of Planned Parenthood of Metropolitan New Jersey is in our local communities. We are pleased to partner with the City of Newark and the Women's Resource Center to provide essential services to the women and girls in the community. We will be offering educational workshops on preventative care, healthy relationships, and family planning.
Mayor Baraka and the City of Newark have received a lot of support for the center and continue to seek out support and donations among our private and public partners. Members of the Newark Municipal Council, Atlas Desk, United Way are among a few of the agencies and organizations that have provided goods, services, financial donations, and valuable resources to our center.
I'm personally excited to be partnering on the Shani Baraka Women's Resource Center. It ties in really well to our goals of economic development. How can we truly drive and create healthy communities, strong families? That helps us to attract businesses And really what we're looking for is creating strong local economies and strong communities, getting to our goal of job creation. So I'm looking forward to us having a presence, providing resources, entrepreneurial training, and bringing true services that the community needs.
The Newark Police Department is committed to serve all residents of the city of Newark. We're collaborating with social services and other community partners to not only capture the perpetrators of violence, but also to target the cause and symptoms of these crises.
When people in this community see individuals that care genuinely and not looking for anything in return, it gives them a sense of hope. Because right now they're feeling kind of hopeless. You know, they don't know which way to go or where to turn or if anyone even cares. But when they see that someone is actually investing in their now and for the future, it makes a world of a difference. It makes them think differently.
There is hope. Show up. You're not alone. This is for me.
This is for Shani.
This is for Newark.